Hi all of you. So yesterday we discussed about EC2 instance and we have created and accessed it, and we will be discussing a new service today, that is nothing but EBS. So we discuss, so what is EBS and what are the benefits of it, and where to use this particular EBS, in which cases we use it, and what are the types of it, and features, and if we use, how much of price we have to pay. So we will be discussing that today, and practically we'll be creating one EBS, and we will see how it will be. So if you observe over here in the services, so EBS service, if you observe over here, when you type EBS, you will not be able to see it. It does mean that EBS service is embedded with the EC2. So if you go to EC2, you will be finding the EBS service. So let us discuss what is EBS and all. So whenever you create, the volume will be created. So that yesterday we have created the volume. See here, this is elastic block store. So within that, automatically one volume has been created yesterday with 8 GB. So this is default EBS. So default is nothing but it prompted us to create one EBS. So without this default EBS, that virtual computer may not be in state of in use. So yesterday we created of about 8 GB. So we can create the volume of EBS and we can attach to our EC2 instance, so that we can do. So how to attach and how to detach, and how to mount it, all these things we will be saying today. So first and foremost, you have to observe that elastic block store is a storage environment. So which type of storage environment? We can store the data within it, and whenever you store the data within it, it will be scalable and durable and persistent. So first of all, EBS is a storage environment that you need to remember. So if you store the environment, if you store the data within the EBS, elastic block store, so that will be scalable and also durable, and it will be persistent. So scalable means if you want to store the data of 1 GB, you can store, and after some time you need to increase it to 2 GB, you can. So simply you can expand it. After some time you there is no need of 2 GB. You just want to use only 1 GB, then you can decrease. That means you can use that particular environment, in a minimal manner. So you can detach that particular environment. Is nothing but you can increase the storage environment, or you can decrease the storage environment. So ability to increase or decrease is nothing but scalability. So this scalability option is there in EBS. And durability is nothing but if you store the data, it will be storing up to 10,000 years. So if you accept to continue, it will be storing for another 10,000 years. So it does mean that the storage environment is very reliable and durable in this elastic block store. Once you store the data within the EBS environment, it will be persisted, means it will be saved. So automatically it will be saved in that environment. So no need to give the command like db, automatically it will be saved. So if you observe, so what exactly EBS is? So EBS is nothing but a Amazon service, Amazon Elastic Block Store is an environment that provides scalable, durable and persistent storage volumes. So can I use it alone? No. It must be coming with EC2 instance. So whenever you have EC2 instance, then only you can have EBS. For example, you created one EC2 instance. You can attach some elastic block store volume to it. So now what is EBS now? Once again, Amazon Elastic Block Store is an environment which provides scalable, durable, persistent storage volumes for whom? For EC2. So this is what EBS is. So what is the size and capacity? So what is the maximum size and minimal size? So that if you see over here, we can store the particular data up to 16 TB. So 16 TB data we can storage, and we can process that particular data up to 20,000 IOPS. So you might have known about IOPS, input output processing per second. So per second 20,000 request and response scenario can be processed from the EBS environment. And just now we discussed about durability and availability and reliability. So availability will be 5 nines. So 99.12345. So this much of availability will be there. So when you come to durability, almost same, and the speed here we call it as throughput will be 320 MB per second.
The
So
data should be is any particular form.
yes, we are going to discuss that.
Okay.
So the data what we can store up to 16 TB, and we can process up to 20,000 input output per second, and also the availability will be almost 100%, and the speed will be, if you see, it is almost maximum speed. So the storage data can be in computed form. Is nothing but we can store the files within it, that must be in computing format, and the storage will be based on the, if you observe the external what we call it as USB or something, right? So how we will be storing, so as it is. So in pen drive also the same. EBS equals to the same in traditional methodology. So whatever the data you are storing must be read by the computer. So computed format data is eligible and it will be stored as it is. So, and we can store up to 16 TB. If you want to expand it, you can, but you need to bear the charges of it. So they will be providing how much of space you want, that they will be providing. So even for generally for larger and faster volumes, people are using this EBS for all commercial regions. Yesterday we have created EC2 in Ohio. So the same thing, we can have it for faster purposes and larger data if you want to store. So US Army GovCloud is using most of the cases like EBS. So AWS has is maintaining the US Gov cloud. It's nothing but government cloud. So if you take the government cloud, more number of files or data you can store in a faster format. Hope you understood. Government cloud is maintaining the EBS in specific format with faster and larger volumes. So let us discuss the benefits of it. So what is EBS? It is a storage environment and very reliable, durable and available, scalable and persistent, attached to EC2. Yesterday we have seen 8 GB of EBS automatically by default it has been created. So let us discuss what are the benefits of it. So wide variety of benefits are there. So let me discuss, and you just listen because you won't find the particular points in the Google and all. The scenario is, try to understand so that you will be remembering for your lifetime. The first and foremost benefit is reliable and secure storage. Is nothing but just now we discussed. Reliability, how reliability is there? I'm simply discussing like 99.59s, but how come it can be done? Reliability can be obtained for the CBS volume by automatically replicating the data within its availability zone. So let me explain a bit simpler manner. Try to explain. I try to explain in a simpler format. So this is the region and this is the availability zone, and I have created one EC2. This is the EC2. Whenever you talk about EC2, one EBS volume will be there. let us assume that you have some data, almost 1 GB of data. You have 1 GB of data within it. So the reliability can be happened. So the same within the availability zone, some of the environments will be used for your backup purpose and cannot be seen. So let us assume that within the availability zone, in one another environment, let us assume that this is the EBS storage within the same availability zone, and this data will be replicated. So this will be copied, replicating, copying. This will be copying for future purposes. So it does mean that within the same availability zone, the data will be automatically replicating. That replicated data cannot be seen and cannot be I need to say like it will be automatical. It's nothing but automatic. Automatically it will be replicating. So whenever disaster happen, whenever failed scenario happen, automatically that replicated data will be pulled from its availability zone and will be provided for you. So I said security. We discussed reliability by means of replicating the data, and security can be happened by means of encryption. So what is encryption? Whenever you store the data within the EBS, that EBS will be stored that particular data which you have saved in encrypted manner. It does mean that if you see the format of data, whenever it is being stored within the EBS, will be in encrypted format. So whenever you are retrieving that particular data, encryption to decryption process will be done and the data will be provided to you for two reasons. One is security and space wise also it is good within the EBS. So that is what the one of the benefit. So another benefit is like consistency will be there. What is this consistency performance? EBS has got a solid state disk type of technology, SSD technology, and we have consistent input output process per second technology. IFs also can be maintained. So that is internal thing and cannot be manipulated. And you just remember that since it is having the better IFs capability and SSD technology, the latency services as well as consistency will be maintained. The third one, backup and restore can be possible within the EBS. So what is backup? For example, I have stored the data within it. I don't know whether it is replicating or not. Let us assume that I am not knowing about the replication or something, copying the data which I have stored in some other environment. But something happened. I just want to retrieve that particular data to its environment. So that can be done within the EBS. So how backup and restore is being processed? So first of all, you just try to understand. Here one environment will be there. Whenever you store the data's snapshot will be taken for backup purposes. The data snapshot. Replication is different, snapshot is different. That snapshot will be stored within the environment, particular environment. For example, you lose some data, or you lose the whole data from your environment. Let us assume that you lost this data. The data which we have stored in the format of snapshot can be implemented to its original environment. So nothing but, so this can be happen to its environment. So how it is happening? I said one word like backup and restoration can be done by means of snapshot. So we will be taking the snapshot manually, not automatically, and whenever it needed, we can restore. For example, the same data can be used for multiple environments. I can share this snapshot to multiple environments so that they can implement into their environments. So backup and restore is highly possible in EBS. Another benefit is we can scale up and down quickly. So what exactly it is? Just now I discussed like the scalability option equals to scalability. You can increase or decrease the storage volume, and you can increase the performance or decrease the performance of EBS within, I can say, seconds. So within seconds, the environment can be decreased or increased. So we can attach the value or detach the value. Increasing is nothing but attaching or adding some of the space to the existed environment, right? We have geographic flexibility for this EBS. So what is this geographic flexibility? When we discuss about this geographic flexibility, if you take the snapshot, you can copy that particular, or you can not, copy is not a good word, you can have that particular snapshot, you can access that particular snapshot across all AWS regions. So that is the beauty. Yesterday we created one EC2, and if you see in another region, that EC2 is not visible, right or not? But this snapshot can be shared across the regions. So that is what geographic flexibility. Ability to share the snapshot across AWS regions is nothing but geographic flexibility. For example, I just want to expand my project. What I'll be doing, I take all my environment snapshots, like it will take almost 1 month to take the snapshots of my project, and I'll be utilizing to the newer extended project. So I'll be implementing that snapshot to my new project. So that new project will be having the older environment with new requirements. For example, tsunami kind of disasters happen. What we will be doing? We will be reconstructing the data center. So the snapshots are needed. Simply we'll be having the snapshots of that particular environment can be retrieved with in another region. So migration is happening. You are migrating from older version to newer version. So these can be happened within the AWS EBS. Now where we can use it? Use Uses are you know wide variety of uses, but very importantly, we mostly use like RDBMS, relational database, like gaming and e-commerce applications. We will be mostly using EBS because larger data and larger volumes are needed for these two types of scenarios, like gaming and e-commerce. E-commerce, we need to give all the data pertaining to that particular thing, and in gaming we need so many supporting files and multimedia files, so that we will be using EBS. And you might have known about EAR files, .EAR, enterprise applications. For enterprise applications also we need. Mostly people are using this EBS. And you might have known about enterprise applications are nothing but in the format of .EAR, right? So .EAR files, let us assume. And storage applications also need this particular EBS, like .SAR, storage application archive. So it does mean that EBS provides not only the storage environment but also some of the services that are important for that particular environment. If you observe over here for gaming and e-commerce applications, so e-commerce applications use this storage application. And gaming, this enterprise, and of course Java files. So we can say, like, for mission critical applications we need this EBS because it is providing a better environment for them. So we are done with the use cases. Important use cases. Let us see what are the types of it. So based on the performance, storage, and cost, we have three types. So recently one more type has been added. The first type is general purpose. The name itself is suggesting, backed up by SSD technology. The second one is provisioned IAPS. So PIAPS, I can say PIAPS, again backed up by SSD technology, solid state disk. And another one is magnetic tape. In the Easter years we have seen the tape recorders, right? The tape, the songs will be recorded onto the tape. The same thing over here, magnetic, it's the tape technology. So whatever we are discussing over here, like types, all are having snapshot capabilities, and the availability will be 99.99939s. So when compared to general purpose, magnetic is low, a bit low. Like general purpose will be having 99.59s and magnetic 99.39s. So what exactly these general purpose SSD volumes? So solid state drives technology will be more powerful, as we are seeing now. So for minimal to moderate environment, we will be using this general purpose, like databases. We store so many files, and development, they will be, developing the code and storing in one environment, testing environments, all these purposes. So this general purpose is being utilized. Whenever you use it, we will be having like 10,000 IAPS per second. So request response scenario can be happen in 1 second, 10,000 requests response. It will be allowed and it will be sent. and 160 MB per second throughput is there. So this is what general is. So when compared to general, provisioned IOPS is a bit advanced. So it is also backed up by SSD, but 20,000 IOPS and 320 Mbps. Magnetic is low because it is tape technology, magnetic drive. So whenever you are accessing very infrequently that particular data into the environment, then you will be utilizing. And storage environment also will be low when compared to above technologies. So only 100 input output process per second. So what is IOPS? You might have known about it. So generally the request response scenario can be happened in that particular environment. If per second request responses are more, IOPS will be more. So this magnetic is least one and basic. PIOPS is also least but not base. Cost will be, they will be charging minimal price, minimal cost. So let us discuss about the features of EBS. So up to now we discussed one feature. What is that particular feature? That is nothing but snapshot. So what are the snapshots? Just now I said the snapshot is being taken for backup and restore purposes and all. So what is that actually? So snapshot is the data, the replicating the data to S3 environment. So I said in one environment it will be stored, right? In S3 it will be stored. What is S3? It is another service of AWS that we are going to discuss. So why this snapshot is needed? Snapshot is nothing but you have taken one environment snapshot and automatically it has been stored into S3, no need to do that. And after some time another snapshot has been taken and stored into S3. So what you will be doing like? So if you take the snapshot of that particular, if automatically that particular environment snapshot has been taken, there are some features within it, like it will be stored in encrypted manner. The security will be more. And whenever the snapshot is being taken, undoubtedly, like without any hesitation, you can delete that particular infrequent data from your EBS environment because snapshot has been already taken. Implementation, re-implementation can be possible. So resize of this particular EBS can be happened. And don't worry if you take the snapshot, the accessibility will be a bit slower. No, immediate accessibility is possible. If you take the snapshot, sharing can be possible to across all the regions, availability zones. So these are the benefits of snapshot. So snapshot feature within the EBS is very powerful. Another feature of EBS is like EBS optimized instances. Yesterday we have created one EC2. Did I opt for EBS? No, automatically it has been there by default. It does mean that it is a EBS optimized instance. The instance with EBS by default, that we call it as EBS optimized instance. So earlier we do have non EBS optimized instances. So no storage devices. We need to again manually do that. They will be providing almost 2 GB of environment. But nowadays they are giving minimum 8 GB of space, 8 to 10 GB of space to the EC2 environment. So that we call it as EBS optimized instances. So whenever you opted for EBS optimized instance, by default of course it is there. So the IOPS will be secured, that we call it as provisioned IOPS. With secured SSL, with SSL enabled or something encrypted, that will be taken care automatically, but we call it as provisioned IOPS. And the request response scenario from your clients will be dedicated to that particular environment. So we call it as dedicated throughput. So what are the advantages of EBS optimized instances? Provisioned IOPS and dedicated throughput. So the availability and durability is more when compared to other storage volumes. EBS volume uh, is being replicated across the availability zones, being snapshot by to, if you want backup and restore. So availability and durability is there for almost 99.39s without additional charge, with no additional charge. And whenever you have the beauty of this EBS is nothing but whenever you have this EBS, automatically you can attach with one type of security, IAM is nothing but encryption can be happened along with identity and access management also can be opted. So encryption can be given by this keys, we call it as AMS, Amazon managed, sorry, AMK, Amazon managed keys, or we also call it as AMS, Amazon Web Services Key Management Service. So just remember, encryption is being done by means of keys. Yesterday we have seen one key, PEM key, and access control can be given by IAM. To just remember that IAM can be embedded to this particular data or to this environment. So these are the features of EBS. Now let us see how we will be uh, creating the EBS value. Before that, I am going to so sign into console, login. Now I am just going to the services, recently used services, EC2, which leads to the EC2 management console. I have one running instances. EBS is here. So since it is running, I can access it. So what is the PEM key, the key name that we have used? Something EC21, I think, right? EC21. Key pair name is EC21. So I am just opening the putty, taking the IP of it. This is the public IP, can be accessed through it, and the authentication I am giving PPK file, EC21 PPK, and this color I use system colors, and appearance kind of I'll be changing for your better visibility purposes, like 18 will be good, 16. So in whiteboard it will be coming so that you can see. So EC2 user is the default login user. It checks the authentication, checks the key. If it matches, it will be entering into it. It has been entered to EC2 user. I am going to root user, of course, file system. Within that, I have some of the directories. You might have observed that those are in blue color. Blue colored ones are directories. So what I am doing, yesterday we have 8 GB of value automatically, right? I am go to volumes. I've got one volume automatically created of 8 GB. GB2 is nothing but general purpose. So now what I'll be doing, I'm checking whether that 8 GB has been mounted or not. So uh, let us see. Yes, LSBLK. Okay. So that has been mounted to file system, and this is, forget about it, it is a hard disk. This is a hard disk, and this has been mounted to file system. Is nothing but to file system. And what I am doing, I am creating a value now. Click on create value. Which type of general, I mean to say, which type of volume you need? I need magnetic. How much GB? 10 GB is enough. Availability zone automatically taken, whether you want 2A or something, that will be. And you need any snapshot that should be implemented to the CBS, that you can give the snapshot ID. We have these many snapshots already, but these snapshots are default snapshots pertaining to the environment. If you take this, that particular environment will be implemented to the EBS. So what I am doing, I'm just giving the blank over here and encrypt this value. I'm not checking this box because encryption is being done with some amount. So we will be going for free. Click on create. So one volume has been created with 10 GB of data, right? So creation of the EBS we have seen, and status is creating. So it takes time, it takes time. So it is available. So available is nothing but it is available but not in use. So previous one is in use, it is in available state. Why this? This data is there but not been attached to EC2. So what I'll be doing is EBS EC2 2. So I am naming it as EBS EC2 2. You select this, and you just attach this to EC2, attach value. So which volume you need to, which we have created earlier, right? So you just go to instances. I have one EC2 instance ID is something like E3F. So this instance ID, either you can copy or automatically it will be populated. I am going to volumes again. You select this, click on actions, attach value, and instances, you just click on this, automatically it will come. You select it. So in this device, root device, it will be attaching. Click on attach. So whenever you attached this volume to the EC2, the status has become in use. So we created one EBS volume and attached to the earlier existed EC2 instance. Now earlier 8 GB, so this 8 GB, and just now I attached 10 GB of it. So it is being done. Now let me check. So LSBLK. See here 10 GB has been is being shown here, but it hasn't been mounted. So just it is there. It is not been mounted to the file system or Linux environment. So to mount, we have some process. Let us see how to do it. To mount, we have some process. So first of all, what I'll be doing, I'll be formatting the value. So since I don't have the root, I am not the root user, I am just EC2 user. Let us see sudo works or not. Okay. What I'll be doing, like I am, formatting the value. So for that purpose, make file system mkfs -t -ext4. These are all formats of the Linux system. I'll be discussing whenever time is. Slash dev and slash xvdf. ext4 is, this is the xvdf. I'm trying to mount it. Before it, I am just so mkfs -t. Sorry, I have given hyphen for ext4 xvdf. So that has been done. Is nothing but we have formatted the value. Which value? Which I have attached just now. Now I just want to mount this 10 GB to some environment, right? This has been mounted to file system. The same thing I just want to, I want this to be mounted on something. So for that purpose, I am creating one directory. Okay. So that we call it as mounting point. I am creating a directory, simple, mkdir. So within the file system itself, I am creating user01, u01. Now if you go to, already we are there in file system. See here within the file system itself we are there. So what I am doing, I am just checking whether we have that u01 has been created or not. It has been created. So what I'll be doing, I'll be mounting the volume to it. To mount the value, we have a command called mount. To which volume you have to mount, you have to mount this xvdf value. So forget about slash dev slash, because it is a default one. Everything will be stored under this only. So now mount slash dev slash xvdf. Okay. So to which it has to be mounted, within the file system u01. So it has been mounted. Unless mounted that particular space, you cannot be utilized in Linux environment. So that is why we are mounting. So now let us check ls. See, it has been mounted to user 1. If you restart that particular instance, this mounting point will not be retained. So this mounting point now it is temporarily, it has been set. To retain this mount point even after restart, we have to do something. So what exactly it is, let us see. So if you observe within this, you have etc. All the system related files will be there and some SSL files within the etc directory. So go to etc directory. Within that you will be having fs tab. See here, this is the file. So black color file, blue color directory. So this is the file. So what you have to do is you need to take up the backup of this particular fs tab. How to take the backup? Simply backup is nothing but copying, right? So cp etc fs tab, where I am taking the backup in the same directory etc, within that fs tab, but with another name like original. This is the original one. I am copying this fs tab as a fs tab dot original. Now see, fs tab and fs tab original is being there. So the same the same will be there. Whatever there within the fs tab will be there within the fs tab dot original. That we can, that is for sure. Now what I am doing, I am opening the file. So to open we have, right, so some lines are there, right or not? To make the mount point permanent, what are we doing? We are making some changes within the fs tab. So now add the line to this fs tab. So I need to open this in a editor. Press I for insert. So the line will be like, slash dev slash xvdf, right? And where to store? Within the data. And I have formatted this, right? So there I need to, I'm sorry. You can Google it. If at all you have any confusion, they will be giving, in simpler format, the same thing. So you add this line for making the mount point permanent. So escape colon wq explanatory mark. So I'm exiting with saving. Let me check whether it has been saved or not. So it has been saved. Now once you have added this particular file, this Linux system will read this fs tab, file system tab, okay, whenever we restart the virtual machine. whenever we restart the EC2 instance. So now let us see whether any errors are occurring or not. So sudo mount hyphen a. Where is that? Mount hyphen a hyphen data does not exist. Sorry, I have to. It is not data. Generally, we have created U01, right? Now I am saving it. If you won't see any errors, it does mean that mounting had been done properly and permanently. Let us check. So this has been mounted. Now you can utilize that particular EBS value. So you can store the files, you can do whatever you want. So what did we do? We just created the EBS value and we attached to the EC2 instance and we have formatted it and we mounted it permanently. So this is what EBS is. And tomorrow we will be discussing with another service. Hope you understood. Please raise your concerns if you have any.
Only concern is when we can get this recording, so we can able to just go through again, so we remember.
You are asking like how to mount and how come we know this
No, no, no,
actually.
no, no. The session, training session videos.
Okay, okay, you're asking about training session videos. Yeah, that I am going to share with you